Let me tell you a story about, this is a great story too. This is one of those positive stories about a husband and wife I worked with for many years. They lived in West Valley City here in the Salt Lake. And I was teaching a seminar at a campus one afternoon, and they came up to me afterwards and said, "Can you help us with our finances?" And I said, "Sure. Can we just talk on the phone, or do you want to come to my office, et cetera?" And they said, "Well, we'll come see you." As it turned out, this was about 25 years ago. They came to my office. We sat down, and he had a very good job at IBM, and she was a homemaker. Kids were grown and gone. He was looking to retire and wanted to make sure that everything was in order for his retirement. It was because they were financially secure before they came to me. And financially secure is what? Living within their means. They have spent decades living within their means, and so they were financially secure. Well, they wanted to make sure that they could be financially independent, where work was optional and leisure was affordable. And so we looked at the facts, we looked at reality, and indeed, in a year or two when he was eligible for retirement, he could. And they could be independent because they had that kind of savings and pension and no debt, etc. Well, so they retired and they kept their income going, and they enjoyed their kids and their grandkids, and they traveled some. And let's see, this would be about 15 years ago. He got ill and he passed away. And so now Vivian was the widow of in the family, and she had 5 children that rallied around her, and she had grandchildren and so forth. And she had a great life. So about 10 years ago, she calls me and says, "I need your advice. I have an extra $200 a month that I don't know what to do with, and I'm wondering, do I put this $200 in savings, or do I spend it, or do I give it away, or what?" And I said, "Well, Vivian, $200, now that your husband's passed away and his pension went with his passing, all you have is Social Security." And she said, "Yeah, that's right." I said, and I think you only make about $1,400 a month on Social Security." And she said, "Yeah, that's right. So where are you coming up with $200 extra?" And she said, "I'm only spending $1,200 a month." And she had a nice home with fruit trees in the backyard and a garden and 0 debt. She was happy with her car. She was happy with her home. She was happy with everything in her life. And she sincerely needed to know what she should do with this extra $200. She was experiencing financial freedom, not only living within their means. They were addicted to living within their means for many years, but she was independent, where work is optional and leisure is affordable. But she had what she wanted, and she wanted what she had, and she had some extra money. Isn't that a wonderful story? $1,400 a month on Social Security. Now, just to complete the story, I'm addicted to reading the paper every day, and I noticed eventually she had some health problems and moved to Idaho to be with one of her daughters, and eventually had some dementia, and she passed away a couple months ago. What a great life. What a great life. And that can happen to anybody who has the belief that they're going to live within their means and deal with reality. So it is what it is. It is what it is.